Hello traders, and welcome to our weekly market overview. And in today's video we'll be going into some possible case scenarios that could play out in the coming week, and as well as how we're going to use those case scenarios to capitalize on the markets. Let's get into it. So the first market that we're going to get into is the DXY, and from a weekly perspective we can see that the DXY is still trading within this ascending type pattern. Now going over to the most recent price action, we can see that we have one bottom right here, and we are in the zone to potentially create a double bottom type pattern. So from a weekly perspective, we can see that we definitely cannot be looking for any selling opportunities. Why? Because we are running into this trend line support. We also have this potential double bottom that could be formed, and looking previously, if we extend this rectangle, we can see that this zone is a price sensitive zone, and price does and has reacted in the past significantly to this zone. So we definitely are not looking for any selling opportunities when it comes to the DXY from a weekly perspective. Now let's go down to the daily and see what we have cooking here. Now we are still within this double bottom zone, and we can clearly see, let's just remove that. I'll actually just go one time frame down onto the 4-hour, and on the 4-hour we can clearly see that this market has definitely been trending down. Even though last week we were looking for buying opportunities, we did not find any, and the market continued to trend down. So going into this next coming week, what are we looking for? We can see our most recent, okay, let's just extend this all the way. We can see that our most recent resistance that pushed the market all the way to where it is now is here, and at this most recent significant resistance, we also have this area that did act as support once and twice, and probably if we go back we'll see that yes indeed it did act as support again here. Anyway, that's not so important. Coming now to the most recent price action, what are we looking for? So for us to be able to take longs on this pair, we definitely need to see a break above our horizontal resistance, our most recent horizontal resistance, and then we'll be looking for that retest, and after the retest we'll definitely be looking to ride the wave all the way up to our daily most significant high. Let's not forget that last week we also did speak about the DXY essentially just being trapped within this range, and until we break out of this range we can't have 100% clear bias on what the DXY is going to do, because we are still trapped in a range and we can go on and on and on within this range forever. So until we break out of this range, then we have a clear directional bias on the DXY. But for now, going into next week, we are not looking for selling opportunities, we are only looking for buying opportunities on the DXY. The next pair that we're going to have a look at is AUDCAD, Aussie CAD. So going straight into the analysis, we're going to begin by drawing in our support trend line, followed by our resistance trend line, and we can clearly see that we are within some type of ascending type pattern. So going forward, how we'll be looking to capitalize on this market is that if we see a third touch of this ascending type pattern, we have the first touch here, the second touch here, and if the market pushes up to create a third touch of this market, we'll definitely be looking for some type of reversal sign or some type of impulsive move away from this third touch area, followed by a continuation pattern, and we'll be looking to ride this market all the way down to our structural significant daily lows, which is at this area, the 90% rule of this ascending type pattern. And this is the simple trade setup on AUDCAD. So the next pair that we're going to have a look at is AUDJPY, and going straight into the analysis, we can see that we had this impulsive move followed by this correction here. So we're going to draw in our support trend line here, then we're going to draw in our resistance trend line here, just to mark out this consolidation. And we can already see that we had our first touch of the trend line here, our second touch of the trend line here. So what we're expecting and how we will be looking to capitalize on this market in the coming week is that if the market can push up to give us that third touch of our trend line, which will be here, we'll be looking to ride the wave all the way down to our structural support level, which is at the 90% rule of this ascending type pattern, which is down at these lows here. And this is the simple AUD setup that we'll be looking to capitalize on in the coming week. Impulse, correction, impulse for AUDJPY. Right, the next pair that we're gonna have a look at is AUDUSD. Now we'll go on to the daily first for this pair, because we can see that recently we are within a double top type of structure, and we have tested the close of our first peak, and now we are within the region of having our second peak. So let's just go straight into the analysis by drawing our resistance trend line here first, and our support trend line. I think we'll have to just go down onto the 4-hour to get this done right. So let's just mark it out on the daily, and we'll go down to the 4-hour just to see that our structure has been marked out correctly. Okay, I like to have them just touch the wicks. Perfect. And here our support. Perfect. Now, what kind of opportunity we'll be looking for to capitalize on in the coming week? Now, we definitely discussed that we are within a double top structure, so we can expect the market not to give us the third touch of our resistance trend line here, but instead just come and give us maybe a second peak, a second smaller double top within this region here before we make the move to the downside. Now, remember that we always say that trading is reactive and not predictive. We predict so that we are prepared. So going forward, we'll be looking for, why is this so slow now? Okay, cool. There we have our arrow. Going forward, we'll definitely be looking for a shorting opportunity if we do not get our third touch within this zone. Why is the arrow the opposite way? Okay, anyway, we know we're looking for shorting opportunities. I'm not going to turn this arrow around. So we're looking for shorting opportunities down to our structural lows, which are at the 90% rule of the beginning of this ascending type pattern, which is definitely down here. So the next pair that we're going to have a look at is EURJPY, and we'll go down to the 4-hour so that we can see structure a lot more clearly than we can on the daily. So on the 4-hour, we can clearly see that we had this impulsive move to the downside followed by this corrective structure here. So we'll go straight into the analysis by marking out our structure with our support trend line there and our resistance trend line here at the top, and we can immediately see that we are within a 3-touch structure. We had our first touch here, our second touch here, and price is currently at the 3rd touch right now. So how will we be looking to capitalize on this market going forward in the week? Let's get our trend line structure. I just noticed some more structure that we can add here. We also see this ascending type structure being formed on the 4-hour. Let's just put this right. So we'll definitely be looking for a break to the downside because we are at the 3rd touch of this corrective structure. Sorry. We'll definitely be looking for our shorting opportunities, and we'll be looking to take this trade all the way to our structural lows, which will be, let's just get this marked out, which will be at this area here. That's where our final targets will be. And going forward, we're looking to capitalize. Any impulsive break of this structure followed by a corrective pattern will give us an entry to the downside to there, and that's our EURJPY trade for next week. The next pair that we're going to have a look at is EURUSD. Now we can clearly see from a daily perspective that the market is approaching the, I like to call this the coronavirus resistance, because this was the corona action that happened a few months ago. So anyway, we can see that we are in a double top type of structure here, and we spoke about the DXY. Now we definitely know that the EURUSD is inversely correlated with the DXY. I'll just paste the DXY on top of this chart so that we can see what I'm talking about accurately. Let's wait for that to load. Cool. So we can clearly see that wherever the EURUSD was going down, DXY was going up. See EURUSD dropping, we see the DXY going up. So these two pairs are inversely correlated. So if we are not looking for any shorting opportunities on the DXY, we cannot be looking for any buying opportunities on the EURUSD. Now with that said, we are only looking for shorting opportunities with the EURUSD. Going down to a 4-hour chart, we can clearly see that the market has been trending up most recently. So going